Booyah! Oh, yes, a bit overcast, a bit windy today, but we're out on a different part of the Thames. We're right sort of close to the Woolwich Ferry. I don't know whether they're having a rest. I'm going to go take a walk out when it gets a bit drier. How you doing, Debs? Yeah, I'm going to come down here for an hour. This is a little bit further down the river. This is the Woolwich Ferry terminal. No worries. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a bit rainy. It's a bit wet. But we're out here. Oh, I think I better get under the shelter for a little while. Yeah, but you wouldn't expect it to rain, would you, in this weather? In this lovely summer we're having, you wouldn't expect this. But there you go. I've got myself a nice dry spot for the minute, so we'll see what happens. Riverwatch, please like, share, subscribe. Well, do you know what? Do you know what, Debs? I've heard it's coming our way later, but for now, doesn't seem. It's on and off, really. It's stopped raining now, so I will have a little walk up and down in a little while to show you. There's a little bit of history here. There's some old infrastructure still hanging on in there, so we'll take a gander at that in a little while. Yeah, I don't know where they're gone. I think they're having a rest. Oh, yeah, just going to have me a French breakfast. Hang on. Here we go. Riverwatch. Oh, here they come up. See, boats don't make noises, do they? Hold up. He's running. Can we catch it? Yeah, see, we do the research here on Riverwatch. And here's a lovely little thing for you to have a look at. Shiver me timbers! Oh yes, all types of vessels, old and new. Here comes the Woolwich Ferry. We'll meet again. This one's the Dame Vera Lynn, I think. And I think they've changed the system. I don't know how they do it. It looks like there's some magnets on there that they stick to. I haven't been on this one. I used to come on this one a lot when I was a kid, but this one I haven't been on. How you doing, Gov?
All right, Bill.
Hey, all right, mate. Just come down.
He's just nosy. He's all right.
Yeah. No, I'll do a YouTube channel. I come along different parts of the river, and at the moment, mate, there's another boy winning at Wapping a couple of days ago. Yeah, and they need more rings. And what a lot of people are doing is they're taking the rings and jumping in with the rings.
Yeah, I've seen it down there.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck, bro.
Yeah, enjoy.
Take care, mate. Yeah, I always go to sing Ferry across the Mersey, but we're not, are we? We're on the River Thames. It's Riverwatch in Cockney Land, East London, Docklands area. And here comes the old Vera Lynn. Yeah, I might have a little, I might jump over, have a little walk on the foreshore. Down this end, it tends just to be just general rubbish, bricks and stuff. Up towards the city, that's where you get your little, that's where you get the mudlarkers, and they're all, but this end, there's not really much you'll find down here, really. Maybe the odd iron bar or something like that on a brick, but yeah, as I say, this would be, but we'll have a little look down here, shall we? Shall we get down on the foreshore? For sure. Don't forget, you're locked into Riverwatch. Possibly the most boring or the most exciting show on your TV right now. And I tell you what, we've got lots of other places to come from. But at the moment, we're at a different location today. North Woolwich. Yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to take you along the, foreshore. See if we can have a little, have a walk along the foreshore. We get up close and personal with the river, and but we must, and in fact, I won't go on the foreshore. To be quite honest with you, I won't go on the foreshore. I will film the foreshore, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Because I'll tell you the reasons why in a little while. Yeah, there's a very serious reason for being down here, and I'll show you a little something. So if you could please share this video, because we need a massive amount of awareness, because in this area, all the way along the Thames, roughly 30 people succumb to this river per year. Now, that target is nearly hitting it already, and we're halfway through due to the hot weather. Now, a couple of days ago, unfortunately, another victim of this river, another young lad, succumbed to the River Thames. Now, there was an incident up a bit further as well, and out of respect for the people, but there have been a lot of young people, teenagers, have succumbed to this river, and there was another one a couple of days ago. And if there's anybody out there can share this video or into river safety or do watch this video, I'm going to show you how bad the situation is and really what should be going on. Now, I could go onto the foreshore, but that would really be encouraging people to sort of hop over the fence. You know, I was going to take you on the foreshore. I can take you on some foreshores, although they are accessible, yeah. But this one is, but I have to climb a fence to get over it. I'm not going to do that on YouTube. I'm not going to encourage people to get into this river. So I will go up close to it, but I won't. And one of the issues that we have at the moment is a lack of facilities. There are no, if you look, the only life rings that you'll see are coming off the ferry. So if we walk along this foreshore, now bearing in mind, this is a very dangerous spot of the river, there are no life rings whatsoever. Nada, not a one. So we're going to have a little walk down and we're going to have a little check, you, me, and the rest of our crew, and I'll show you how bad the situation is. There is no life-saving facilities along this foreshore. Now, this should be paramount at the moment. So if anyone out there is listening in that type of field, my God, something really, really needs to happen. Some investment needs to go on. And more awareness in schools, I would say, and to local residents. But yeah, this is how bad the situation is. I'll get back to you in 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm just going to come off camera and I'll get back to you in 2 seconds. Right, so as I say, taking a... How you doing, SJ? How you doing, Nibs? Right, so taking a walk along here, you'll see that this whole walkway has absolutely no infrastructure, no life-saving equipment. And bearing in mind, as I said a couple of days ago, there has been another victim in this river, and casualties are rising and rising and rising and rising. And if you take a look, you'll see that the only life-saving equipment is by the Woolwich Ferry. So we're going to take a look now. There should be rings at least as we walk along this stretch of the River Thames. And as you'll see, shockingly, there aren't any at all. And some people are actually using those life rings as a swimming aid. So yeah, crazy. Absolutely nothing. Now, if you look down there, you'll see loads of stuff sticking out of the ground. There's loads of rope down there. Now, that piece of rope, that'll all float. When the tide comes in, that will all start to float, yeah. So you've got a big lump of metal there. It'll be hovering midway in the water. You've got all those wooden stakes sticking out at the bottom. Look at the rope. Everything will sort of lift off from the surface as the tide comes in. So, you know, if you're jumping in here, or if you decide to dive in here, you can hit one of those wooden stakes. Some of that metal that's floating a few feet down in the water can smack straight into you. Bearing in mind, this can run at about 5 to 6 knots. That's about 5 or so miles an hour. So, you know, quarter of a ton of steel hitting you at 5 miles an hour. It's not a good thing. And as you can clearly see, there are no warnings, absolutely nothing. Shocking. And I think I'm going to walk about half a mile, quarter of a mile, and all the way along this stretch of river, there are no safety warnings. I think I might be able to see a life ring up here. We'll have a little check on it. But as I say, I would go down to this foreshore, but I'm not going to encourage. I'm not going to encourage anybody to climb over these fences. And I'm a strong swimmer. I can swim about a mile or so. And I wouldn't advise anybody, even myself, to jump over these fences and jump on the foreshore. Yeah. And I have testimony from many of the local residents, many of the more elderly residents who used to come down here and would play on these beaches, but would often be supervised. There would always be a parent or something, or a couple of parents that would always be down here with them, keeping an eye out. But as we come up to this really ancient, this is the old part of, this is the old ferry terminal. This is the old, it's a bit scary down here, it's a bit daunting, but it's Riverwatch. Ooh. Yeah, and as we clearly see, I've walked all the way up. Oh, we've got one. I don't know what the standard is. Well, it's got that bad. There's a bird eating another bird. It's a bird eat bird world out there. Right, so yeah, as we come up, I'd say I've walked a good 200 yards, and this is probably the only one. No, see now this is the problem. This is the problem, and this is always a good thing because I always check and I always check these out when I come down by the river, and this is just it's unacceptable, sir. No, lost another 2 kids down at A14 a couple of days ago.
Oh, wow.
And not being funny, like this is just.
Yeah, this is not acceptable. I think,
No,
I'm sure you remember when the girl went missing here, right?
Well, this is why I'm down here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to film the area out of respect,
of course,
but the thing is it's paramount because like it's normally about 30 deaths a year, and what's happening? We've hit that peak already. Nearly, we've hit that peak already.
Wow.
And the problem is, I've got a friend. Hang on, I've got. Used to have swimming bars everywhere.
Yeah.
The swimming bars was 35p. You didn't have to sign up to the Newham Council and be. Do you know what I mean? You just went in,
Exactly.
and there's a lack of facilities for them.
Definitely.
So they're
That's
having
how
to,
people have
and this is why they're doing it. But I will tell you, from just after up until about 1955, 60, people would come through. There would be families coming down here. These beaches would be packed.
Oh, wow.
Because people didn't have access, you know, the poor working class people didn't have access to the beaches down there.
Yeah.
And they would come here, but normally it was supervised.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was always the grannies watching out and, you know, and it was the best, closest thing to the sea. And kids would play here,
Yeah.
but it was always instilled in them. It will, you know, but if you jump in there, all the stakes, there's stakes sticking up. And the thing is, things can rise and they can sit in mid-water.
Definitely. The tide
you know?
comes all the way up here sometimes.
Yeah. So what'll happen is say that chain, bang, you jump in there, get your foot wrapped around that, that's it, you're finished.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? And this is
bad, though.
that is bad. That is bad.
I think there's something more down there.
Yeah.
Actually in it.
Yeah, it's a good job I always check them, really.
Yeah, definitely. Because you've been responsible for that council, right? The council.
Mate, they can't even put on a good event. They put an event over there. There was nothing there was no soul, there was no reggae, there was nothing to bring the people together. It was just all hip hop and stuff like that. I know there's nothing wrong with it, but
You gotta have a mix.
yeah, the last one we went to, it was all reggae. Janet Kay was there, you know, soul, and everyone was like getting on down, but it just there was no vibe at that one. I think this borough needs to kick up the ghoulies, mate. Anyway, God bless you, sir. Time, mate. And there you go. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So we're going to get off to the end of this one. And we're going to check a few more. And I will be coming back on the other side on Facebook. So once I get to the end of here, because I want this to sort of go out onto a couple of different platforms, I'll be going over to Facebook in about 5 minutes, yeah. But if anyone is watching this video, please, if there's anything you can do, if there's any numbers you can ring to get these, and if you do live near a river, and you can get this infrastructure checked out, or if you do, take the dog out for a walk. And if you see these, you're not breaking the law, just for checking it. There's nothing wrong in doing that. It's in fact your public duty to do so. So I'm going to be back on Facebook. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And I wish you all a good day. And I'll see you if you come over there on Facebook. Sayonara.